they feel like they can, have great lives and stuff like that, and become successful in life, and they feel like they don't have to be consistent with what it is, what it is they're doing. A lot of people feel like they can do it when they want to, and oftentimes I see the people that's very consistent. They're the ones that you know they're the ones that make it to the end. They see the success. They see what happens, after they, you know, have repetition. Consistency. All consistency is repetition. Once you have repetition in what you're doing, and you're really passionate. First of all, you know, when you're passionate about something, you become consistent with it, and that shows who really wants, it. Whatever field you're in. Whether you're going to school, or you're pursuing a dream or passion or arts, that you're striving to do. It's all about your drive, your tenacity, and your drive on, how you get to your destination as far as your success in life. And sometimes, it could get hard. I ain't gonna lie, this morning, it was hard getting up, running this morning. My wife got me up this morning to run. Of course, it was hard. I was frustrated, but I said I'd go ahead and run, because I know if I keep doing this, I know I have great results in the long run. And sometimes you have to have that push. You have to have that push sometimes in order to get through. In order to get to that final result that you really want, or that's the result in general that you want. It ain't gonna just come with you just sitting down and not doing anything. You have to really have to pursue what you really want to do in life in order for it to happen. A lot of people, they think it's just gonna come overnight, and they're not. And the key thing to consistency is patience. A lot of people don't have patience to see the end, patience to see the destination, patience to see the fruits of their labor, and they stop early, and they look back on their lives and say, "Oh, dang, I should have stuck to it. I should have stuck to what I was doing, already." And so, you just got to keep at it, keep going at your success, and see what happens in the long run. A lot of things I regret not having the drive to keep going. A lot of things I regret not doing because of my own, my own character. A lot of things, I could have kept going with. How you doing, Mr. King? A lot of things I could have kept going with, but I stopped. I stopped midway instead of seeing it all the way through. It's a lot of ideas you may have in your head, but you feel like you're not capable of achieving. But you got to say in your mind, what is the process I can use in order to get to that end result? What can I do? What fits my life in order for me to get to where I need to go? A lot of people, of course, hard work is good, but sometimes you have to find a strategy, because somebody else's strategy may not be the strategy you need to get to what you need to go, get to where you need to go. And so you have to really think about the strategy that works for you. How you doing, Van? You gotta think of the strategy that really works for you in order for you to achieve what you really need to achieve in life. Everybody has goals. Even if you say yes maybe even if you say you don't have it, you have something in your mind every day, because the Creator doesn't create people just to create them, but the Creator created us with a purpose. Uh, Everybody has their purpose on what they do in life. Some people's purpose is to show somebody else their purpose. It's a lot of things I see people do that I'm very inspired, and I was like, oh, that might be my call, and that might be something I need to do in life. And we have to think about that and consider those things in life. you know so if I fulfill my purpose, it may be that I'm inspiring somebody to ignite the passion that they have or the purpose they have, that they've always seen. People see potential in themselves, but if you show and be a light to people and show them, oh, it's possible to do it. So you always have to put yourself out there in the world. How you doing, YT Cohen SA? So you just got to put yourself out there and see what happens. Somebody said LeBron or Jordan. George. I'm gonna have to go with Jordan. I'm a Jordan fan. Love LeBron James, but I have to say Jordan. I think Jordan's drive was incredible. Even though Jordan was somewhat cocky, but he backed it up every time he people challenged him. He was up for the win. Yeah, I have to go with Jordan. I feel LeBron broke records, but who really influenced LeBron James? That's the question. And so yeah, I have to go with Jordan on that one. I think Jordan broke a lot of barriers, as far as shoes and as far as just his whole aura. I think Jordan is the GOAT. Jordan is the GOAT. So something about those Michaels, is incredible. But anyways, whatever you're going through, you gotta have consistency. Like he was talking about LeBron and Michael. Both of them are great because they stayed consistent with what they was doing. They ain't let nobody stop them. Jordan, he was dropped off of the high school basketball team when he was younger. Michael Jordan, I think it was Laney High School. They didn't let him play because he was too small, and so later on he proved them wrong, and got on the high school team and was one of the top scorers on the team. And so that shows the drive. If you really want something, if you really want something, you can't let nothing stop you from where you're trying to go. Even though it may be a stumbling block or something in the way, you have to work at it. You got to work hard at it. Michael, he probably worked hard, got bigger, and got on the team the next time. And so you never know. And the other thing, you never know who's watching you. When you stay consistent, you never know who's watching you, what you're doing. You never know who's inspired by you. People watch you every day. People watch you every day, and they're inspired by what you do. And so continue to strive. These ducks out here making a whole lot of noise. But continue to be inspired. You never know. Your next break, where your next break will come. If you stay inspired and keep at it. Yeah. Let me know who's in here. I see one person right now. But again, appreciate y'all for being in here. I always love to inspire you guys on this channel. Give motivation on this channel. But yeah, consistency is the key. Like I said, patience is a hard thing for a lot of people. Patience is a very hard thing for a lot of people. You know, people always want to give up. People always want to give up so easily on certain things. You know, there's certain things I wanted to give up so fast, but it's something in me said I had to keep going, to see what happens in the long run. You know, see what happens in the long run, and hope you inspired. Hope you inspired today to be productive, to stay consistent with whatever you uh, inspired to do. You know, like I'm up here on YouTube. You know, I keep the drive. How you doing? Hauia Aiken? I don't know how. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. What's up? What's up? Hope you're having a blessed day. If you want to support this channel, $ J Gibbs VA, man, $ sorry, Open Mind Convo. That's my other channel. But if you want to support this channel, Cash App Open Mind Convo. If you want to support this channel, Open Mind Convo, $ Open Mind Convo. If you want to support this channel, if you want me to talk about a certain topic, whether it be religion, politics, motivation, feel free to send me a Cash App, and I'll talk about it. You know, or I can do a shorts. Let me know if you want me to do a shorts or a full video about a topic. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 30s. But yeah, strive every day to stay motivated. Strive every day to stay motivated. Hope y'all having a great day. Hope y'all stay inspired. You know, it's easy to get off guard, you know, by life, by reality. You know, reality kicks sometimes and you feel like you don't want to keep going with what you're really passionate about. And like I talked about in another video, you know, you really have to take risk on the things that you really want to do in life. You know, some people, you said cats are not big, bro. But you know, you got to stay passionate to what you really want to do. And again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Like I said, somebody put my Cash App, $ Open Mind Convo. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Like I said, you guys stay consistent with what you're doing. Appreciate you for the subbing, Aiken. I can't pronounce the first name, but I appreciate you for being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. Yeah, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share my channel as well. Are you Casanat, big brother? I wish I was. I wish I was, so I can meet these celebrities he be meeting. But yeah. I wish I was Casanat, brother. All right, Aiken. See you later. See you. I ain't want to say your first name. I don't want to mess it up. But again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for joining this live. Like I said, please, you know, thank y'all for watching. Until next time. All right, peace.